All right. Without further ado, spawning in the bottom left. In the red. Give it up for the Terran. It is Heromarine. And spawning in the top right. In the blue, the Protoss, known as MAXPAX. Alrighty, game number one here on Beckett Industries. It's going to be a TVP for your enjoyment. MAXPAX going to be throwing down a proxy pylon, already looking to get cheeky here in game number one. Now, this is a best of 5 series, so anything could happen. We do see the barracks coming out for Heromarine, and we're going to see where MAXPAX wants to go with this. I mean, I think it's going to end up just being the gateway and doing kind of like a standard zealot stalker kind of rush coming in with that. Heromarine actually not scouting out either. I think, okay, there he goes. He is going to eventually scout out with an SEV, but I feel like by the time it gets across the map, it might already be a little bit too late. So I'm going to go across with the SEV. We got that gateway on the way at home. You have gas on the way. And now, it's going to be interesting. Does MAXPAX make his Cybernetics core across the map, or does he maybe throw it into the main base and keep going from there? It is going to be a Reaper opening, as well as that Nexus play coming out from MAXPAX, trying to throw it like a, yeah. There's nothing going on here. And, of course, Heromarine going to come in here. He's going to say, hey, you're missing some buildings here. And will eventually start looking around. Now, he does throw a CC into the main base. And now has that Reaper coming out towards the front. This will allow him to still essentially protect against us. While MAXPAX is going to throw down his Cybernetics core in the main base. Or, yeah, his own base. Zealot does come in here, sees that there has been no CC taken. Is going to start making his way up the ramp. Oh, Heromarine barely gets that depot up. Does end up throwing a bunker down. The Marine will be coming out towards the back. The Reaper going across the map. Going to go into the main base. Looks like he was going to try to throw down a bunker in the natural to kind of fall back onto, but is now being chased with his SCV by a probe. Eventually he's going to be taken care of. A shield battery going to go down in the main base. And yeah, I mean, he's still going to be able to pick off a couple of kills. The Zealot going to recharge back home. Does look like Heromarine has defended this pretty well. Eventually, the recall going to happen, and a Stalker will be able to actually chase this out of the way. Now, he still has this bunker in place. Eventually, I think he just cancels it, but not bad. Getting 4 kills. Yeah, his CC is kind of delayed being jumped down here, but at the same time, he has kind of delayed MAXPAX. So, what does MAXPAX do behind this? Well, he's going to go into a Twilight Council. And I think eventually goes into Blink Charge behind this. Add on some additional gateways, and then if it does need to, go up into Storm. Maybe throw in some Colossus, but we'll see. So it is going to be another Stalker coming across. Eventually the Reaper here for Heromarine will be able to kill off MAXPAX's own Zealot. And eventually kind of throw his CC down towards the bottom. Now, MAXPAX behind this is going to be going for that Blink play. He does have Warp Gate on the way behind this as well. And it looks like he is just going to continue to set up with his, probe count, getting things set up economically. The Reaper's still alive here is very crucial. He's going to be able to get in, get some more scouting done, and we even see MAXPAX throwing down those additional gateways. So that's going to bring him to a total of 3. And, I mean, he still has that pylon across the map to kind of deal, some warping damage, if anything. So, very, very good. Now, behind this Heromarine does go into a Cyclone. He's going heavier into Marines. He's got a tank as a follow-up. And, doesn't actually have a starport yet, so. There we go. Alright, finally warp-ins are available, looking to shut down the pylon here. Marine's going to start getting focused down, and the Cyclone going to give chase. Actually going to try to force the Stalkers back a little bit here, and eventually will be able to do so. Now, there's going to be another warp-in of a Stalker, but I think he actually gets it in just in time to be able to shut that down, and now The extra stalkers do get locked down. The probe trying to come down to throw down another pylon does not happen. And now Heromarine in a lot better position than previous. And she just kind of cleans us up. And now MAXPAX, what do you do behind this? Well, he's going to go into a robotics facility. He's got Blink done, and he does have those stalkers. So it looks like he's going to continue the aggression here against Heromarine. But honestly, he doesn't have that much stuff. I mean, what does he really have here? He's got 4 stalkers, 16 Marines, 2 tanks, and a Cyclone and Reaper. You're just not getting in here with that. He blinks back. Eventually going to warp in some more stalkers. But again, keep in mind, he only has 3 gates at the moment. So massing up a bunch of stalkers isn't going to really help him out. Yeah, he might be able to put on some pressure, deny a potential 3rd base, but you really just cannot get aggressive. And look at this stalker, excuse me, the Reaper and the Cyclone for Heromarine going to go across and just start putting on some pressure. Now 3rd base is being taken for MAXPAX behind all this. Eventually we'll clean up the Reaper, and the Cyclone will be able to get away. And yeah, man, I mean, it gets really tough. Like, for the most part, MAXPAX, oh man. Okay, so he knows that there's a little bit of a push potentially coming. It's very high Marine count. He's got a couple of tanks. We'll see if he actually throws in some SCVs. Now, I know that people like Keen, people like Special like to kind of do this SCV pull. Even Innovation has been known to do it. But it doesn't look like we're getting that just yet. Looks like he's just going to come across with the Marines and stuff. And in a pretty good position, too. He's going to get on top of the Stalkers. Stalkers eventually blink back. You have the tanks getting up into siege mode, getting on top of this 3rd base. And MAXPAX in some trouble. I mean, he's only got a handful of Zealots and a couple of Stalkers. He does not have enough to deal with this. Scan forward will actually force the blink back. There is an Immortal on the way, but there's just so much here for Heromarine. I just don't know what MAXPAX is going to do. He's going to go ahead and get some more Zealots. Charge is done, so trying to get some of those tank shots off onto his own Marines. GG's, though, and we do see Heromarine taking game number 1. All right, so game number 2. I'm interested to see if we keep getting these crazy builds from MAXPAX. Like, obviously, he's kind of a player that is being known now for, in a sense, like, innovating Protoss. I say that very lightly, but we have seen some of his builds kind of influence some of the more, I guess, what you would consider top Korean players. Now, he's going to be sending a probe across the map, and I keep bringing over here for one reason. I keep wanting to explain that there is a build that MAXPAX likes to do on this map where he throws a pylon like on this side of these blue minerals, and then eventually kind of throws like maybe a Stargate or a Gateway or something on that side. And we see him get kind of aggressive from there. Now, it doesn't look like he's doing that just yet. In fact, he is making his Gateway at home. Going to be throwing down that Cybernetics core as we speak, and Heromarine finally getting that barrack up and going to go into a Marine opening while he does send across an SCV to scout. We'll at least be able to see that there is the expansion and that the units are there for MAXPAX. Now, MAXPAX trying to delay the CC from Heromarine and is doing an okay job so far, about 50 minerals, 60 before eventually he is able to throw down that CC. The Marine coming out, really going to help out with that. Now behind this, we have the reactor coming for that barracks, and you know, he's building up a solid supply of gas. This will allow him to go into a factory a little bit quicker. In fact, we do see that factory coming down now. I am very curious to see, does Heromarine go into Hellions this time? A lot of times we see maybe a proxy starport come down and do like a little bit of a Hellion drop, but so far an SCV hasn't been sent out to do so. So maybe just a handful of mines, maybe do something with that. We'll see. Adept's going to be making its way across the map. Well, we do have that Twilight Council coming down for MAXPAX. We will see that Adept going across. So Marine's going to be coming out for Heromarine. Just going to be building those up. Factory is about done. And we'll actually give chase to MAXPAX's own Adept. Now, I think he just cancels this here. Yeah. And then he can just continue to put the pressure while he is waiting for that second Adept. Now, basically what MAXPAX is trying to do is try to convey to Heromarine that he's going to be going into Stargate play. And it's going to be Hellion coming out for Heromarine in the factory. He's got that starport on the way. Eventually going to be throwing down the tech lab. And yeah, unfortunately, he doesn't have enough Marines here to really deal with this. Like, the focus fire from MAXPAX, pretty good. We do actually see the Hellion going across now. Looking to get in, but with the Stalker in place, I don't think Heromarine really is going to get that much damage done. Behind it is going to be going into a Cyclone. Again, with the Marines, he's got the tank and does have a medevac on the way. Blink is going to be the option here for MAXPAX. He's got that Robo. And so we're essentially looking at the same build as the previous game, getting those additional gateways, pulling them up to 3, eventually 4. The Adepts do end up falling out of shade. Die. Now, the Hellion coming in once again for Heromarine. Going to give him a little bit of scouting. At least kind of keeps MAXPAX honest. Will allow him to see, you know, has he moved out yet? Is he massing up a bunch for an attack? And here we go, Marine drop going in towards the main base. Same time, the Hellion will be very key to kind of keeping MAXPAX distracted, right? There is a War Prism on the way. It's not going to get scouted, actually, as do see MAXPAX going down towards the bottom, looking for that drop in Heromarine. Does he eventually just drop in here? I think so. Okay. He does see that there is a move out coming out from MAXPAX. This is going to give him the opportune time to actually go in. Blink is complete. But is he just going to wait until he does the damage across to go in? Yeah. Looks like he's going to go in now. Eventually, we do have 2 Stalkers coming in instantly. Try to deal with this, focusing down the medevac. Blinks back. Medevac trying to get out of the way at the same time. The Stalkers not able to get into the natural, as we do end up seeing the tanks siege up in a pretty good position. So far, 6 probes do end up falling. The Stalkers going to go into the main base, getting some tank shots off on them. The Viking looking to get on top of that Warp Prism at the same time. Your Marine eventually going to have to pick up across the map. Able to at least delay a lot of mining, kill off a few probes. Look at the units lost here. So far, 8 Stalkers, 2 Adepts, and 8, 9, 10 probes. As another drop does go down. Those 3 extra Marines now down to 2. Fortunately, those Marines, their new battle song, stinging into the thick of it as they do trudge into enemy territory, enemy lines. And now just more Warpins coming out here from MAXPAX. He doesn't really have the economy, though, after getting, you know, a good chunk of his probes getting killed off. Now he's still at 42, which isn't bad at all. And he but he's only on 2 bases at the moment, which I guess is fine, considering, you know, how much pressure he's been trying to push on. And now more Stalkers coming through. The tanks, though, in a pretty good position. Stim is done. And it's going to be a DT Shrine follow-up here for MAXPAX. I don't know how much I like this. I mean, I guess it's not bad. He is using a lot of energy for mules and stuff because of just the pressure MAXPAX is putting on here. Behind it, he's going to be getting that Robo Bay as well. And now MAXPAX is just kind of in the situation where he's trying to find damage wherever he can. But the tanks are pretty well sieged up here. He picks off like 1. Really not getting hardly any damage, unfortunately. And yeah, I think Heromarines got a pretty sizable force. He's going to go ahead and start pushing this back, taking a 3rd base. 3rd base is on the way for MAXPAX, as he does have charge almost done. Scan does give a good scout of the DT Shrine, and I think we will automatically start seeing those missile turrets coming down. Now the first 2 DTs are on the way. Eventually, I think he just makes those into Archons, but looking like he's going to try to get in there as quickly as possible and force out some damage. First CT actually makes it into the main base. The second one just barely going to get scouted and start dealing some damage. The Marines just hanging out on duty, getting some damage done, so not bad from MAXPAX. Stalkers, though, not going to be able to get anything done on the third base. And MAXPAX going to have to pull back for the moment. Now, again, you can use those DTs to eventually go into Archons and kind of go into that, but it looks like he's going to switch up going into those the Colossus tech, and then I think eventually into Disruptors. It's got the Extend Thermal Lance on the way, going into DT Blink on top of that, so very interesting. Marines, though, going to be coming into the third base, going to force a recall. Probe's going to get pulled to try to help deal with this. Stalkers going to start getting on top of it, and eventually I think he can just pick up and move away. Does get the third base, so a huge pick off there from Heromarine, and he's going to come in here to try to finish the job, stemming back with those Marines. The additional reinforcements coming in for Heromarine. GG's and the MAXPAX once again. All right, so spawning in the top left in the blue, the Protoss, it is MAXPAX. Alrighty, and spawning in the bottom right. Give it up. It is Heromarine. Oh, alright. So MAXPAX having some trouble here. He's got some neat little ideas that he's been doing. Unfortunately, they just have not been working out for himself. Now, going to be going into a gateway once again. You do see Heromarine going into his standard barracks, and you know, honestly, Heromarine has played very standard in this series. He hasn't tried to get cheeky. He's just kind of said, okay, as long as I play my style, play how I want to, I'm going to be in an okay position. Know when to scout, make sure that I defend against anything, and go from there. So MAXPAX now does send his probe across the map. We'll look and see kind of where he wants to go in game at number 3. Does he get cheeky? Maybe go for... I was going to say go for a cannon play, but it's already way too late. He hasn't thrown out a forge or anything like that. I think it's going to be more of a standard map. Maybe go into gate or Stargate this time. We'll see. He's going to open up a Zealot. Going to be a Reaper opening for Heromarine, and eventually into an expansion. This time CC goes down pretty much on time for Heromarine, so a little bit better from the previous games. And now MAXPAX just continuing to try to be annoying, continuing to keep a scout on his opponent. You have that Zealot making its way. I think he actually goes across the map with this. It wouldn't surprise me. It looks like that is going to be the case. Takes his own expansion, gets that Cybernetics core up and running, and now additional gases as well. Probe does end up going down, and we will see that Zealot going down towards the bottom. Eventually, I think, goes into the natural. There is a Marine to defend against this, and there is a bunker on the way, but I think it's going to be close. I think right before this actually finishes up, we will see that Zealot here. Now, the Reaper does come over, sees the Adept, sees the cancel on the Shade, and yeah, the bunker not complete yet. The Marine ends up dying. Gonna end up killing off... Oh, no, he doesn't kill off the SCV. Ooh, no, why? Okay, yeah. I guess in this situation, the CC is a little bit better. Not really overreacting, but again, with the Adept, with the Zealot, does make it a little bit tough. Twilight Council on the way. We've got Marines and a Hellion on the way. Starport coming through as well. And eventually here we got the Reaper coming in. Wants to try to poke in, get a little bit of damage done. Second Adept coming through here. Now, CC is still alive. Trying to heal up the reactor. It barely gets it in time. Zealot does end up falling, bringing back the Hellion. Eventually we'll be able to take care of this. And I do think eventually we see the bunker complete. So a beautiful defense coming out here from Heromarine. MAXPAX, though, Does get at least a good scout off on what Heromarine is doing in his base behind it. He's got those additional gateways. He's got the robotics facility. So very, very similar to the previous games where he's going to go into that blink charge kind of play. We'll see, though, if he does want to end up going back into DTs or if he's just going to go for a blink pressure. Obviously, because he opened up that way, he was trying to delay getting a tank out and kind of forcing Heromarine into a weird situation, but it looks like Heromarine should be fine, all things considered. He's got the Marines and stuff in place. Still has the Reaper and the Hellion. I doesn't actually see the Stalker yet, though. Yeah, I mean, he's gonna be okay. He's got the Cyclone, a couple of Marines. I think he picks up the Hellion with this as well. Yeah. And Stalker will eventually be able to scout this. Gets cleaned up, though. Or at least pushed back. There we go. Second Stalker and the third Stalker is going to come in here. So now, Heromarine just going to back up. And go into the main base. Might actually force a recall here, but MAXPAX might just continue across the map with this. He does not have a Warp Prism. Oh, yeah, he does. I'm being silly. It's right there. So, going to be coming up towards the natural. There's no tank out yet. Oh, no, there is right there. But he's getting himself ready in a beautiful position. MAXPAX, though, going to start getting aggressive. The SCV is going to get pulled here to help heal on top of this. Doing a pretty good job here. It looks like he's eventually going to have to blink back. Once again, going to have a drop into the main base. A couple of Stalkers going to be summoned in to try to deal with this one. Stalker barely staying alive as Overcharge does get activated. We'll force this out from Heromarine. And even across the map, I mean, MAXPAX doing a decent job, able to kill off quite a few Marines, as well as he does get 5 SCVs, bringing it to a total of 6. The Reaper's still alive and keeping everything in the front on lockdown. Now, MAXPAX looking to go into the main base. There's already another bunker. There's already tanks here, so I don't think he's going to get really anything done. Yeah, just going to blink back. Keeps that War Prism out of place. And another drop going into the main base. Fortunately, the shield battery out of energy. Going to blink on top of the army here from Heromarine. But not after a solid 10, 11. 12 probes get killed off. Just not that great. Ooh, even the Viking getting on top of that War Prism. Able to kill off the Viking, but MAXPAX definitely in some trouble here. I mean, he's keeping a good kind of contain on Heromarine, but the damage has been done. Third base on the way for MAXPAX, as we do see MAXPAX looking to just try to find a way to blink in here. But there's just so many tanks already in position. Gonna blink forward, pick off one of the tanks, ends up backing up, pulls the SCVs to deal with this. Heromarine gonna be in a fine position. Robotics Bay on the way, though, for MAXPAX. Behind this, he's got Charge, adding on additional Stalkers, and I mean, he's just going to keep up the pressure. Eventually, that Observer goes down. Yeah, I mean, it looks like he wants to go into the main base once again. He's only got 2 health, though, and 100 shield, so not looking good at all here. He's just got to be careful with it. I think, though, he should be able to get into the main with it. Same time, looking to pressure into that natural base. And remember, MAXPAX has taken a third base behind this, so we'll eventually be able to kind of like outproduce Heromarine. But again, I mean, even after all of this, like, Heromarines' army count is just so massive at this point, and it looks like he's going to go for a drop on top of this. I mean, for the most part, MAXPAX is just going to continue to try to tech up. He's got that +1 extend thermal lance. He's got Charge on the way. He's going to go into that Zealot Colossus style, eventually get some disruptors behind this, if he can manage to get to that stage of the game. Bunkers do end up going down, and it looks like now Heromarine ready to push across the map, or at least push into a third base. But it looks like Heromarine is, in fact, ready to start pushing down towards the third base. Going to drop into the main base at the same time. The Zealots kind of misclick there, and we do actually see the Robotics Bay getting focused down. Eventually, more Zealots who come in here. The Colossus stands alone and is taken out. And Heromarine pushing across with everything he has. MAXPAX trying to return home with all of this. Overcharge does go down, but there's just so much damage going on. The the units here for Heromarine starting to get low, but with the tanks going towards that third base, focusing down the Colossus. GG's, and Heromarine takes the series.